But I find and I want to thank on LSK because now umefanya turudi sasa into CPDs. But then we also, I get to sit with some of the people who were, like Irene Kiwul, who was my student, to sit in a CPD meeting and listening, which is a good thing. So kuna kitu tulikuwa nakosea when mulikuwa natupatia exemption. Kwa hivyo mkifikiria kubadilisha, badilisheni. So that we are not suffering. Because it's important for lawyers to have their practicing certificates. The lawyers in the counties, solicitors and others, in Makueni we say you must have a practicing certificate. And if you apply for a job, na una hiyo, story yako imekwisha. Yes, please. So they must comply, and I want to give you my assurance we will comply in ensuring that the legal profession can meet the standards that we wanted it to do. Ni hayo tu. Sasa.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, Junior. I'll just like to take this opportunity first to thank you for having this function in Machakos County. When you come here, this means Machakos grows economically. We keep on saying Machakos is a place to invest, and here in Machakos we are supporting our investors in whatever way we can for them to continue growing. We are becoming a destination for conferencing, and soon we'll be advertising all our hotels so that you can know what Machakos is made of. So karibuni Machakos. As you know, we are also the most industrialized in East and Central Africa. We have industries coming up here every other day, and we are not getting tired. We also have the city in Machakos, which we are inviting you to come and invest there. We have given the law courts about 10 acres in Machakos. Your president just wrote to me the other day to remind me about the land. The land is there. We have given you, we want to come and build law courts in Machakos. You're building one in Athi River, which we really appreciate. It's almost getting finished. Now Machakos, the law courts are too congested. In fact, I remember I had to bring a container to make it habitable for the children that come with their mothers. Yeah, so that they can go and play there. So if you move to the land that we have given you, at least you can move from town. And you can also have conducive environment there. And also when we have all government offices together, manning them and protecting them becomes very easy. So that is what we want to do, where our headquarters will be, where all the government offices will be like community, or like, Harambe Avenue, the parliament and all that. So in case of anything, we are able to protect our government premises. So, mkona kazi sisi tumewapatia shamba, kujeni, mujenge. And I think for your president to write, you must have a budget. So we're just waiting for you. We have given to so many, to ESCC, to Wavinya knows, na DPP, yeah? She's the one working on that with the
DPP offices, LSK offices, ESCC offices, and judiciary.
So I'm not a lawyer, I'm a computer scientist, but I think about you. And I'm not blowing my trumpet. Sindio, lazima inchi tuijenge. And then what I'm kindly asking you as lawyers, we have problems sometimes at home. We have people from our community who cannot afford to be represented in court. Us as Machakos County, we have structures up to the ward, to the village level. If you can work through our structures, we are able to identify our victims or the people who need your service, and then you can work with them. We have our county secretary, Dr. Ndambuki. He's my county secretary. Through him, we can work together so that you can give the pro bono services of free. Services to our people. The last, yue no tuzoveamba ni mwewe. Ebinda yao zoveamba ni kiata. Ebinda yao zoveamba ni ibikia. Hi cousins. Cousins are here. Lazima sisi wote sasa kwa nguvu za Mwenyezi Mungu tutembee pamoja. Hakuna mtu katika nchi saa hii ako na experience ya kuongoza Kenya kama Dr. Kalonzo Musyoka. Kalonzo Musyoka has been the Vice President of the Republic of Kenya. He has been a minister in so many of these ministries. He has worked on bringing peace in East Africa, in South Sudan is part of us, and even Somalia. He has been tried and tested. Kenya saa hii inataka mtu wa kuifanya hii. Kenya inataka kupumua. Tunaelewana? Kenya inataka kupumua na ni nyinyi tu mtaweza kufanya hivyo. You are educated. You are everywhere. You know what needs to be done. Our people are suffering. They're suffering. I'm the governor of Machakos, I can tell you. Some of my people's payslips, people are in trouble. We have had to go back and have our people restructure their loans so that they can have a space in their salary, and even have done some promotions because of all the taxes that our people are paying. Because of the taxes, we are being taxed a lot as a people. Mimi siogopi. Nemwe tumokamba. Ndiza kwa mondo. Ndikoma kwa mondo. Na kila chagua no last maniki hata. I'm carrying all these people, and I can see their problems. Hospitals, we're having problems. We're having problems. If I can tell you, as the governor of Machakos now, I have over 700 million in SHA not paid. And I'm supposed to be treating people. Buying medicine, where am I supposed to get money? There are things we need to sit down as Kenyans and really think hard and make the right decision. And the right decision for this country is His Excellency Dr. Kalonzo Musyoka. Hapa Machakos, Kitui, Makueni, you don't worry. Cousins, hapa tumefunga. Yule hayuko na yeye hayu. Sindio? Bano lazima tuso uviachao. Bye. And we must speak with one voice. You see, so many of our people have been sacked. They have been removed from government. And we are just, some of us are just quiet. In the army, will you look now, how many people do we have? In the national government, how many people do we have? Na watu wetu tu wakitolewa, watu wananyamaza. Mawakili, onenywa mgaito telezi yango maito. Nundu tibutu ateke hata. Tuibutu atodele. So tusimame na watu wetu, na let me tell you, vizuri kujipenda. Tukaya makuyenda, baimundu wezo otwenda tambaye ya kamba. Na tinuizi tuwana ka hata ukiwafanya nini, wanafanya nini, wananyamaza. But wakati wa kunyamaza umefanya nini, umeisha bwana. Ongea. Sindio? Wakati wa kunyamaza umefanya nini? Kama umefinywa, kama mtu amekukanyaga mali, mwe tafadhali nginyuke. Nondo ni wekete hata. No nginyete nginyuke. Kwa hivyo, tafadhali sisi tuongee. Mliona mimi, mtu hawezi akasimama. Yes, yeye ni president, mimi ni governor. Lakini hawezi akakuja akasema kama ni wajinga, hawana akili, mkubwa yao ni mjinga, munene akoumwa na kuniweka hata. No umwa. Na nicho muonie na leo thi mukutanoni. Na ngikembete atumaniwe ni thi mukutanoni munene akwaka uma wenibo. Nina lilo thi mukutanoni. Na ina mata bisene sama tunenge ndai hata ambaye ya chao ya kamba, na ambaye ya kamba no inenga we chao ndai. Tisawa. So Your Excellency, Dr. Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, sisi tunakuombea. And let me tell you, you have loyal foot soldiers. Hawezi kuwa hivi na hivi. Lazima usimame na nini? Na msimamo. Twasia no wa musitika semba na getike kata. Tika mina na ito tambaye akamba ni tukongamana nyu. We want more. When we had anene ingi kono interview na ikonwa ni maenda makatila kimanza kinene makeke ando maitu. Lakini yuko maofisini ama nene tena ando. We don't have. Na wengine wakipata viti kwa serikali wanaenda tu wanafikiria juu yao. They don't help their people. Iyo tumekataa kama mbaye ya chao ya mokama. Na ndimine ni mweombe. Na nithenge mbe wakamba. Aombe meba. Aombe mwevo. Ni mweombe. Mwewa mutangwa. Zukulu kwa mumutei. Melenge kwa yene. Bawe yene. Tisawa. Wow, thank you very much. I want to thank you for inviting us. You know, we love you. We love the job you do. Na hiyo kazi mnafanya, you know, it is only God who works through you. Because dealing with human beings is not easy. It's not easy. And for someone to sit and just say now what you have done is not right because of A, B, C, D, they must have thought about it. Because at a pen, you can destroy or build. Kwa hivyo sisi tunawaombea, tunasema Mwenyezi Mungu atembee na nyinyi, maloya muendelee kututetea. Because without you, in this country we cannot survive. And we love when we have issues you come and fight for us. Kwa hivyo asanteni sana, ningependa kuchukua nafasi nimkaribishe the sixth President of the Republic of Kenya. Hey.
It's already past. It's already Saturday. When we came here, it was Friday. Now we're on Sunday. Imagine, tulikuja hapa Saturday. Now it's already Sunday. That's why I didn't want us to continue. But nandikuma bande bigezi maema. That's so. What do we say? Members of bench, your lordships and learned friends. Shmua Governor Vinya, Governor Mutula, and the Vice President of LSK, Senior Council Brother, I think he may have gone, Charles Kanjama, and the cousins. Yui, tonight here to have together, to say I can get to our lower. We are part of Mount Kenya South. I think that's what Professor Mulubi should have said. You have Mount Kenya and Mount Kenya South arrangement and then Gema. A lot of work was done by Professor Mulubi and other guys to bring this integration. I wish Professor Kibwana was here so I can assure him mundu wonde ulubenyewe ne kasongo ne kasi, not just akamba ne kuyu. So I think there was a misrepresentation of some sorts. So when Rigiji said I cousin, people thought it was just talk about Kambas and Kikuyus. No. And I think Professor Mulubi, you know that Mijikendas, Kisis, Abagusi, and even Bukusus and others, and not just Bantus, the whole country. Yule ambaye amevinyiliwa na policy ambayo inahujumu nia na nafsi za Wakenya ni kasi. Kwa hivyo hai kasi. Lakini hawa Mount Kenya wanaelewa na Kikamba, so I will speak in Kikamba. A little bit of it. Kanatiogu? Nondo Mukamba isie. Now it's very important for you lawyers, Mukamanya ndimo. Ndimo maundu maimba ukamba akamba manena na ndimo. Ila inge makui na londo mwali watu tabia. You spread very strong messages. Kwa asia ndimo. Wangalagani we Mukamba waita will have to teach you that Kikamba. Mukamba asiai. Mukamba asia kia ngu neba. Alama ezuko kwa yolo. Kumbe mwakamba. What does it actually mean? Kiavi changu never dhokoni. Imagine what ingu with the iko na we amabu ma dhokoni. With the maybe to give you some resolutions. Now you mumunde ilamba kwa siai. Ngendo kwedo na ndo ama andika ama dhango mimi na kuandika indeto. Yaandikika. Yuto na kwa siai Kalonzo aneni azi aisi kiadhiki angune madhokoni. Kana kwazi no kiku ta no mangelani. A resolution was passed Kivuba over a long time, which goes to show the unity of purpose of this community. So, as I speak to you, I want to actually acknowledge and really appreciate this amazing investment. I'm here for the first time by the Mwangangis. Nituma Gunange, former speaker, and we call Mwangangi Mr. Connections. I don't know whether he's still around. And I can see some of our people work hard. And so we celebrate this, and we really think, when this was ongoing, I used to think this looks like Hilton Hotel in Ukambani. Hilton has since closed down. We need, as Governor of Vinya said, investment. That is how you can create wealth and create those important jobs. Kila kingine kwa sene mobiano ndo members of LSK, Mount Kenya South, Wanamanyithia, for this wonderful. Is this the third edition or fourth edition? Third edition. Ondo Professor Kibwana wanena, yeah. We have had great minds from this community in the legal fraternity. The late Chief Justice Kitili Mwendwa, Attorney General Matthews Guy Molly. Of course, our brother, Senior Counsel, Willie Mutonga. And the other bigger names you've forgotten, even from the point of the bench. Katika Masuvia, ngwete kalande twele kwa ziva hapa mundu ile report kanai mayaji maitu maiba monde president wa Court of Appeal kwanza wambai tu Mwambua Justice Musinga andu matena wia mautio makwani katikati hivyo ndio aina hivi mateo kia only respecting God Almighty. Go in a way, we're very proud of you. And we know there are gaps, there are deficits here and there. Because we all know, as practitioners, that nobody has ever resolved the issue of the backlog in cases. Everywhere, it's not possible. And it's not been possible, therefore we need a lot more judges. Mutula Junior, what was your number again? 45. So number 4,500. I was number 1,056. All right? And so, and had I not gone out after Kenyatta died in 78, I went out for postgraduate work in the Mediterranean islands. I would probably have been less than 1,000. So I delayed by 1 year. But be that as it may, kukoma na umunde ba betigeliene mo challenge. This country is in a revolutionary mode. What you are going to see next time is not a normal election. Don't be cheated by anybody that Kenya Kwanza won Mbeere North or Malava. And again, I wish Kibwana was here, so because I would talk to him about Gunism. The Madhikoma Mwanya was nothing. Just people between themselves, sibling rivalry here and there. Because CS Mutua is one of us, it's not a big issue. But there's a bigger issue that we cannot, in a democratic, in a country that claims to be under the rule of law, in a country that wants to witness democratic elections, have a situation where you just can't breathe. You now have a police on the one hand, and I think even the bench will have to help us on this. The police literally assisting goons to do work that the police themselves should be doing. Therefore, this concept of goonism, even those of you interested in elected positions, I don't know how you will manage unless this culture changes. Nimetoka, as you may have noticed, from Siaya to actually escort one of our own, the late Beryl Odinga was my classmate in the University of Nairobi when we were doing undergraduate work. And leaving that place was a problem. Just a problem. Because they are unemployed Kenyans who see those big cars you're driving and whatever, they jump on top. Wavenye, remember one time ulikuwa unaendesha gari yako anaingilia hapo kwa rooftop na anaketi hapo anago mama sema. And it is so because of frustration. I can assure you the Gen Zs are very angry. They came out on the 24th of June last year and made a statement, and they become the example the world over. In Madagascar, they made that president flee. By the way, the president of Madagascar was also the president, was the chairman of SADC countries. So even when now they are going to see Donald Trump, some of them, the president of Angola, the president of the DRC, and then of course Ruto is a current chair of East African Community. That's the only reason he went to State House, to the White House. And if you look carefully, you see President Uhuru Kenyatta sitting behind his White House boss, because he's the man who has been spearheading the peace efforts in Eastern DRC. But when William Ruto started at the hotel, Serena Hotel, what he called the River Congo Initiative, and then M23, even though you could see, if you look at President Felix Tshisekedi and Kagame, you see Trump has a lot of work to do. We have tensions everywhere. So the president of Madagascar fled. Seychelles have had one term. Inspired by Gen Zs. If you remember, because of inequality in administration of the fee payment scheme, even in Bangladesh, the Prime Minister of Bangladesh, that was the one who followed immediately after the 24th of June last year. She had to flee by helicopter to India because the Kenyan Gen Zs also inspired them. And here, they didn't even participate actively in the recent by-elections because they're still watching they're studying the situation. And they are wondering what is wrong with their country. So we have a responsibility to deliver this country to the next generation under the rule of law. Now we are practitioners of the law. I think it's about time this country's tried a president who is an advocate or a lawyer or something. Because these others cannot, they cannot seem to make headway. This is why Chief Justice Emeritus is also trying to struggle along these lines. He was also my classmate, David Maraga. And because we're always trying to say, what can we do? What can we do? And so, when you meet like this, as members of the bar, the senior and the junior bar, I want to challenge you. You saw us go out and take those pro bono cases We said you will not privatize JKIA, give it to an Indian farm, which is already cited for all kinds of fraud in the US, and you want us to believe that the Andani deal is good for us. We went to court and really must thank judges who had Justice Namoe and others. Come here, strong. I said, no. So we also want to ask that alamo meteko kuito onenyu mwedwe na nzia ya kuungama for the rule of law. Even if the heavens fall, but justice reigns. Justice reigns. Look at just yesterday, Justice Nyanga, Nga and Chikiti and Mugambi made a very important ruling about party hopping. Because you must also dig in, you must really do something. They actually say because there was a public interest petition regarding the governor of Isiolo, who was elected on a Jubilee ticket, but he went and behaved in a manner that suggested he had already left Jubilee. Now those judges came out with a landmark ruling. So we want to see, because they're saying the will of the voter is sacred. You cannot just use them as vehicles. You use a Wiper Patriotic Front and you get elected as an MCA or a governor or a senator, all those positions, and then you get in there, or look at us in the case of what happened in Azimio. Some of us signed those, that coalition agreement. Chap, Wiper Patriotic Front, ODM, Jubilee, we were in Azimio. But the moment William Ruto was pronounced the winner, Chap left us immediately. Now what does that tell you? And of course a ruling was even subsequently made by the Court of Appeal that Azimio was a majority party in the National Assembly. Personally, I've been very disappointed, and today I even reminded people like Opiyo Wandayi, who should have taken up position following that ruling and say he's even doing away with that appointment and a broad base or whatever it is. And now that he's now been confirmed he was a majority leader, he would have dumped that. And you know what that would have meant? Because Raila had lost this election in Addis Ababa for the chairpersonship of AU Commission. I was ready myself to make sure Raila became the president following that ruling. But because of selfish interest, people were confusing our democratic practice for whatever, people looking at self-interest. What happened? The so-called experts did not want to hear that there's this ruling by the Court of Appeal. Now look at what that does. What does that do to the conscience, the national conscience? Are we serious about democracy? This is what the young people are saying. We don't believe in none of you. We don't believe in any of you. So I want to challenge us, therefore, that the Law Society from this region, I cannot do it myself. I can't do it on my own. I've been there. I've stood for dignity of this community. I've refused to be corrupted by anybody. I've refused. And I have tried to build that name. That's why Waita remembered I was angry with him, because Uhuru alikuwa amemtuma kwangu. Chief of Staff wa Uhuru. Akaja number one. One time I actually came carrying a lot of money. Not much though. It was less than $1 million. Because no, he meant it well. I had an event in Niata and he thought he could contribute, have 1 million shillings. I told Waita, keep that money. We might need it some other time. Because this is not the way to go. Yani kuungamana event ya mwongo. Nikanazo vienda ya mukamba. Niko kutume today, but community ina ndaya. Niko kanativo. Never mind. We now don't have those friends, I mean, the founders of this community. Major General Ndolo was the first chief of the army. Then General Jackson Mulingi. And the army, because this is a community of fighters. Kila ndo inge Kenya matesi, mukamba nde wia. Lakini we are not instilling in them. And this is where we must thank our community, our cousins from the mountain. I'm told, in fact, on the 13th, I'm going to attend a graduation of about 1,000 or 13,000 young Kikuyu men and women who have gone through some process of accepting and being told who they are. They appreciate. Lakini Akamba, we don't have that. We don't have that. So we are producing young men and women without that cultural upbringing, I mean, or whatever, anchoring. And so, what am I telling you? Mweka wavinya wanawewe kana andu maina mawia mabuti toe nemeke tata, you shouldn't worry. And some of them, therefore, because if you talk that language, makambia kwa zia hii tuenda kwenda tu kwa serikali. And we have Constitution 2010. If it was not for that document, which some of us worked so hard for, our late brother Mutula Senior, I had to tell Kibaki, the man who can deliver this constitution after my sister Mother Karua resigned, was Mutula. And Mutula worked hard together with all of us. We delivered Constitution 2010. That is a document. That's a document that holds this nation. Those rights, the right to assembly, to picket under Article 37, those other, the Constitution is so strong on human rights. The whole chapter on UN Convention on Human and People's Rights brought together into this country. Under Article 2, I think it is, of the Constitution, we have imported, and we are part, therefore, of the international community. One of us worked hard for that. From this community, I can give you a secret here. Senior Counsel Kyoko Kilukumi. How many of you know him? I wish Kyoko was here. Because I tried to push for him to become the Solicitor General. And Raila then, after this was after 2007, Kibaki had, I think the other Chief Justice nominee, Vishram. So I told Kibaki, you're giving Vishram Chief Justice, I want Kyoko Kilukumi to be the Solicitor General. But after the Kofi Annan talks, then of course Kibaki and everybody, Raila came with oomph. And he said, no, we are not taking those arrangements. That's how Willie Mutunga became the Chief Justice. Now, I don't think this community should feel deprived. These minds are powerful. If we get our senior counsel, Kyoko Kilukumi and others, to know where we wanted them to go, Kivuva, you're young, you're chairman of LSK Nairobi branch and other places. There is not an office you cannot occupy in this country. Edwano Kalonzo kumanya mazi. No, by doing you, kiadhi kitwe mukamba izi kiuzo mobio. Kiuna kikamba. Kiadhi kiene kitwe kia 2027. And I can tell you, I don't know where this friend of ours, a composer, Kenwa Maria. It is true, research has been done. And now, all we need to do is to maintain the tempo. And all of us. Therefore, you're going to be more active. Sorry, you are going to be more active. Now, I'll give you an example. You see what is happening under the so-called infrastructure bond, wanting to make Kenya Singapore, first world country. And we told them, you can't do that. With the type of reputation as the most corrupt leader in the world. The reigning champion of who is most corrupt president in the world is there. The one was in, I think the Gen Z's world voted for him. And he fled to Russia. What was the name? President of Russia, of Syria. Assad. Assad, the most corrupt. Now number 2 was William Ruto. And he wants to make this country first world country. With that kind of a reputation. Now look at what is happening. 2 days ago, without public participation, and judges, wait for us. We are coming. And I want to challenge the bar. I want to challenge the bar. You will not allow Safaricom to be sold just like that for a song. You won't. So I want to see how many of us are ready to go on record to defend this most productive Kenyan company called Safaricom. Just been sold off like that. And you ask yourself, if it is 200 billion, what is the cut for those people doing the deal? Waita used to work for Safaricom. The most productive, the most profitable. How do you just sell it off? All right? And William Ruto says he's going to build so many dams. And I keep on reminding him, the High Grand Falls Dam is a Vision 2030 project. I think it's important for you as lawyers to know. I wish Wilfred Nyamo Mati is a member. He's from here. Wilfred Nyamo is from my village, actually. He has taken this matter very seriously because he's been acting for that consortium of the UK. William Ruto meets Prime Minister Sunak in Sharm el-Sheikh. It's a resort city in Egypt. And he agreed that he's going to allow the British consortium to construct a 650 megawatt dam on the River Tana. With that construction, several things will happen. You produce 650 megawatts of electricity, put that on the national grid. You open the area for irrigation for as far as Tana River and Garissa, and therefore you stem the flooding on the River Tana. You know where the River Tana joins the Indian Ocean, a place called Kipindi. Those areas are always flooded. You check that. And the money, the financials were already sealed. Now, William Ruto, 1 year later, says no. And he says no. The British High Commission is wondering. And Wakili Nyamu keeps on briefing me. William Ruto simply, because he thinks this project is in your region, you must be starved of development. And this is a man who wants to make Kenya Singapore. The other way went, and the Renaissance Dam in Ethiopia, producing 5,000 megawatts of electricity. And you know the sensitivity between Ethiopia and Egypt and the River Nile, because the Egyptians believe the Nile is Egypt and Egypt is the Nile. But they went ahead and did that. William Ruto actually went to witness. He went to witness this construction. I mean, the completion of the Renaissance Dam. And I think some of it may be coming our way. What I'm telling you as advocates is, if those of you specializing in criminal law, fine. Yeah, because you end up really looking after so many, the downtrodden, you're keeping the criminal division very busy there. Young people, wameiba hii na hii, wameiba baskeli. When I was coming here, my driver said he was on Uhuru Highway, akaona mtu anagonga kio imeenda. Right? Somebody like that, surely you can see these are people trying to survive, to make a living. But there are these mega deals, which are really a result of auctioning our country. So the next election, my friends, my learned friends, and I must conclude, is a revolutionary one. And so let us start by going to court this week. Let us have, whenever we have, say, a matter like that, don't leave it to my friend Jiro Ndegwa, sorry, and a few others. Because the moment you go and you have 100 advocates on record, that makes a statement. How many of you are ready to do that? This is a question. This is really a question. And I want to thank, of course, the Vice President Kabata, who dances like Mkamba. And we are there. You see, big charging young Kenyans under POTA, Prevention of Terrorism Act, and you want to instill maximum fear in them. We had to go out there. On a pro bono basis, we got them out. Mheshimiwa member for Manyata was charged under Terrorism Act. Can you imagine? And this is all the Americans are themselves saying, no. We want to assist Kenya in the security sector, but not to use our support to terrorize Kenyans. So the whole world is looking at this country. And therefore, we have to be the change, as Barack Obama would say, the change we want to be. So I'm here to encourage you today to come out. Rigiji was the other day comparing the supporters of our late friend Raila Odinga. You see Jim Orengo, senior counsel, you see Otiendo Molo. When it comes to talking, the people talk. There's even a lady called Millie Odhiambo. Millie says she's a bad girl because she's fighting for a cause, fighting a cause. I think the problem with us is we are too genteel. Can we be a little rough and come out there and talk? And so I must talk, and I really encourage you and congratulate you. Thank you so much, and please, even as you stress, because this is amazing, because we are not here wearing wigs and things, those wigs, the boring stuff, right? And to terrorize magistrates, and you go there and judges say you're most learned. This is you, this is who you are. But I have a problem na ikalesi ya kaniki, nondo na ilesi ya kuna mukanda na kuna mukanda wa kwata mazatani yangi. So let us think through these things. Let's think through these things. So I really want to thank you. It's been a long day, but I'm not leaving here until I hear my mom. And Professor Muluvi and the team, thank you for the work you've done. Thank you so much. For once, I can tell you, our people, the research that was recently done, I can tell you this, but somebody was briefing me, it's not even for publishing. The kind of support this community has and wanting to go for the presidency is at 86% as of yesterday. It's the highest ever. The highest ever. And then this is coming up all over. It's coming up from Mount Kenya region. It's coming up. Matiang'i is trying a little bit. It's coming up. And so, all right? And in Luo Nyanza, this is why you see me going there and reminding them. I can tell you, the Luos are listening to us. And they are ready. And you know them, they believe in justice. There's a community that believes in democracy and justice. And I reminded them today, is Luo Nyanza. But let us have some of you now hitting those headlines. Headlines. Of course, we have a sister here, just because she's CEO of administrative. What is the commission again? It's actually the ombudsman, right? Yeah. Akionekana anajaribu, she was a CEO of LSK, anaangeliwa because wanasema hana godfather. I think that is a terrible thing we must fight in this country. So Maria Beneka, thank you. I've seen you stand very strongly with your sister here, and stand strongly. So if one of us is also affected, and we know that looking at everything, putting everything on the balance, wanaonewa tunatoka zote. So this is it. Let me see how many of you are going now to go out there. Now we can demonstrate freely. I'm the champion of demonstrations, but I'm not a mad person. And again, look at what is happening to university education. William Ruto has messed up our education system. Now, I told my friend, Mrs. Mwangangi, I told Mwangangi, because our daughter Mercy Mwangangi is the CEO of SHA, I'm a little shy. But this SHA thing is not working. And I have a feeling they are doing things behind the Mercy. They are not telling her. This thing is being run by Kina Duale and other people. Mess up. You have had the education and the health sector. All our hospitals are not functioning. It's a fact. Hakuna. So, I don't even see William Ruto, by the way, as we speak. I'm so much ahead of him in opinion polls. So much ahead of him. This is why they say, oh, sijui 50+1, hatutafika huko. And once we're going to work very hard to make sure the opposition remains united. And if we do, it will be absolutely one term for William Ruto in round 1. One term. One term. One term. One term. Asanteni, God bless you.
All right. Kidogo DJ. The six, please, just come here. His Excellency, the Governor of Makueni, come. Governor of Machakos, come. Mr. Fixit, come. Nimesikia kuna mheshimiwa anaitwa Kavudha huko chini, mkuje. I need the cake set up here. And meanwhile, we set up the cake and we also set up the band for Maima. So that the 6 opens for us the floor for Mwale. And then Honorable Justice Telesia Madeka uga totile keki. Na ende nundu wa usuvi ambaye Telesia Wabinya Nicholas, next Vice President uga. Maora Kabata njo nundu wa usuvi ambaye ende mashimo na ageno uga wambo ninde tu kuambia nundu wa machao mashimo mashimo ambo tukunia kamwe tweti la keki ena the 6 na ma governors. Kwa hiyo tweti la keki na the 6 na the governors around na ende tweti la keki ende mashimo. DJ nipatie hiyo ya mashimo tuende nesano wa tweti la keki. Yes.
Twende Musukidungo, aliwe shambiki, twende onesa, awanya metani. Musukidungo, aliwe shambiki, twende onesa, wambani wambe, ubika Nairobi, mwazamana isye, twende onesa, wambani wambe, ubika Nairobi, mwazamana isye, twende onesa, makamambo, shambiki ziyakwa, wanasina isye, twende onesa, makamambo, shambiki ziyakwa, wanasina isye, twende onesa. Yes.
Ndio tuna haya mashimo nondwa haya sasa the 6 karibia hapa. Your Excellencies the Governors, Honorable Justice Telesia Oka and Dr. Monyivia Kivuva ako wapi? All right, very well, lovely. Sasa the 6 chukua kisu inakaa kama panga, alafu usaidiwe na hawa imbogi yote tukate keki. Sawa sawa? Haya, wapi makofi ya keki, makofi ya keki. Nataka mnisaidie kidogo dakika moja, msiniulize swali, alafu tukimaliza tawaambia hii kitu tunafanya ni ya nani. Sawa? Sawa? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday dear Junior.